This is your 20th road victory.
Yeah.
This team is kind of like really figuring out how to win both at home and on the road. Is that just a natural progression that you had?
I think it starts with defense. Defense goes everywhere. Guys, I think are able to kind of keep the crowd out of it a lot of times when you're able to get stops like we can. And then it comes down to smart basketball on the other end of the floor. I've always liked playing on the road. There's something about the day on the road where like everything you do leads to the game. At home, sometimes there can be some more distractions. You have people around, things. Your routine isn't as regimented as it is on the road. So.
You had a moment in the second and third quarter where it looked like they were coming back, and then you get it back late in the third quarter.
Yeah.
What kind of went haywire for you guys?
I mean, our defense, second quarter defense, like 37 points. I think they shot 56 from three and 65 from the field. That we just kind of, let our defensive intensity drop. I thought we can't. We started well, and then. The challenge went against us, and we got a little frustrated there for a few plays, and then they tightened the game up again. But Ant getting downhill and pick and roll was key. We found our defensive intensity. Just weren't ready enough defensively. Like I thought they coming at us early, and we just weren't ready to take the first kind of thrust. But we did a better job, of kind of winning that battle.
How hard is it to? In a game like this, when you're up so big, they start coming at you to regain kind of the focus on what you had earlier and turn it into a comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, you're fighting human nature a lot of times. I think you see it on the offensive end. I mean, the ball was really moving. We were passing up wide open shots, and then we were trying to drive into a crowd and we were trying to make another play for somebody, but we should have just taken the shot at times, kept it a little bit more simple. We had done a good job of creating those opportunities, so we just should have taken them. Then that led to some run-outs, some turnovers and some run-outs that we weren't getting back. So,
just overall this season, 2/3 of the way through it, you mentioned this had a potential to be a trap game. just overall, how have you felt this team handling its business overall?
Yeah. I mean, for the most part, it's been great. We've bounced back from tough losses very, very well. We've had a few slip-ups for sure, like everybody does, but it's not been like a pattern of it. I think guys are locked in coming out of halftime. I think there's like a course correct that we are seemingly able to do pretty well. I think a lot of that's down to our leadership and our maturity, and also like Ant and Cat getting busy. I think I really appreciate their approach has been all business recently.
With you talked about what an honor the All-Star game was for you and the organization as a whole. Just what will it mean for you to coach Cat and Ant?
Yeah, I was thinking about this afternoon. And I had done some media around that question, and it's pretty special, really. I mean, if you go back, it was basically right before the All-Star game several years ago when I got this job, 3 seasons I think it was, or whatever, 2.5. I have no idea now. But Kat was so gracious and like welcoming me. Anthony was just like kind of bright-eyed rookie. And the mission was to help restore the team around Cat, make him the center point, and then bring Anthony along. And to be here a couple years later, it's such a credit and a tribute to them and their willingness to be coached and learn and grow and adapt and all the things we've been through in that time. So it's going to be cool, really cool.
Chris, you haven't really had a lull at any stretch of the season, extended losing streak or anything like that, but does this recent last few weeks feel like you're playing as kind of like you were at the beginning of the season or as well as you have been?
I think so. It feels like we got that kind of that swagger back that we had before Christmas, or up to that point in time. It's all, again, it's defensive led, but we now have like offensive kind of purpose, and everyone's really kind of contributing there. So it does feel like we've found a whole nother gear. But we just got to maintain it after the break now. I mean, there's a bunch of games. I think we have 7 back-to-backs, and we do have a bunch of games at home out of the break, and we can't come in happy and fat. We got to make sure that we stay hungry.
And then Carl had the 2 big blocks in this game, but kind of throughout the season, it seems like he's had that wall-up sort of game at the rim. I mean, we talk so much about Rudy and what he is there, but Carl's a pretty important addition to the rim protection there as well.
No doubt about it. And, we've been preaching and from the beginning, like, you got to do the things that big teams do. That's be big where it matters most, and that's at the rim. When we are really, really good, Cat is really good on defense, And we challenged him in January. We said you got to get back to playing defense at the level you were up until Christmas time, and he's responded. He really, really has. And whether it be at the rim or in actions or in rotations, it's been key. It's like this doesn't work if Cat doesn't bring that defensive component. It just doesn't, So.
You're into the break with the best record in the West. Any sort of message you tell the guys as they kind of all go to their own spots for a couple of days to let them relax, but also make sure they keep focused on kind of the mission here?
Yeah, I mean, we just I want them to enjoy it. I wanted them to recognize what we've done so far and why we've been successful, and I want them to come back laser focused. And we talked about how important 7 games at home coming out of the break. It sets up nicely for us. We have to take advantage of that. And, this is going to be a heck of a push coming up here. We play a bunch of teams that are right there with us, and they're going to be swing games. So.